Hello everyone, welcome to the new class. Until the previous class, in the previous videos, we had completed the previous chapter, chapter 15, which was mainly on the basis of some of the topics which were mainly on the basis of the nature, defined about ecosystem, what are the factors, significances relating to it. In this chapter is very small, very small, not VVS Lakshman, very small, because one thing about this chapter is that among that 30% that was curtailed, that was cancelled, in this chapter majority of the topics which are actually important by the point of view of importance are actually cancelled. So this chapter is very less significance in case of content. We will go through all the points, all the topics in this chapter, and no need to write the notes now. I shall tell you at the end of the chapter what to write, and when to write, and how to write. Okay, now beginning with the chapter. What is the chapter? Chapter 16, Management of Natural Resources. So what are resources actually? What do you mean by the word resource? Resource means something that assists the biotic components. The whatever the biotic components are present in our world, in this nature, something that assist them are actually known as biotic. There are something that assists the biotic components or help the biotic components. Biotic components, we all know, plants, animals, human beings, birds, all of them come. So something that assists the biotic components are actually known by the name, or by actually known as resources. Means resources are something that can be, or that helps in the assistance. So definitely resources can be of two types. One which is found naturally, natural resources. Another which is built by humans, artificial resources. Natural resources, those things which help the which are given by the nature, like the forest, sand, soil, water, or you can say air. All this comes under the natural resource. Artificial resource, the house that humans built, the agricultural land that humans set up, and some other artificial things that helps in human beings, like the chemical factories construction, or the chemical factories. All this comes under the artificial resources. So artificial resources, they don't have much importance in our daily life, because humans can even build the house under the water. In the present situation, or in the present era, humans can build water even under the sorry house even under the water itself. So what is the main important thing that we need to discuss in this chapter are about natural resources. So what are natural resources? As I told you, something which is obtained from nature, something which helps us for our existence. So we will read the chapter thoroughly. In the previous class we had discussed, or in the previous classes, in the smaller classes, we had discussed about natural resources like soil, air, water, and how various components are recycled or cycled over and over again in nature. Previous chapter we discussed about pollution, how pollution sources affect our daily life. In this chapter we will actually discuss about the maintenance of, or the management of natural resources, how they can be managed thoroughly. Okay, how can we protect them, how can we conserve them, right? That's what here it's is being discussed here. Means in a sense, we need to understand about the SD concept. SD concept means sustainable development. Sustainable development. We need to understand about SD concept. Okay. See, it is completely a theory chapter. So I will always tell you only one thing regarding when you read such chapters which are related to ecology. Uh, do not focus on what is written here. Means I meant to say that not only focus what is written in the syllabus, just see your surroundings also. If it is something related to the ecology, whatever chapter you are reading, just relate it with the surrounding, just relate it with the things that is around you, that is surrounding you, so that you can understand more and more. And whatever the chapter desires, or whatever the questions from the chapter desires, you can write on your own, right? So always, if you have a chapter regarding ecology, try to mingle with the environment that is surrounding you, so that you can thoroughly understand what the concept is being mentioned in the particular desired chapter. Okay. Now, see, there has been several for the several decades, awareness about the problem that caused by unthinkingly exploiting our resources has been fairly recent phenomenon in our society. Awareness has been given for a long time, but no one is giving ears to it. No one is understanding it. Despite that, everyone is exploiting the natural resources, and exploiting in such a way that the current generation is suffering more and more, and the next generation which will come will suffer the higher in the higher rate. And also, once this awareness rises, some action is usually taken. Means just like the people of our area, we when we say them to wear the mask, what they do is they wear the mask beneath their chin, right? And whenever any police officer or any police jeep or any higher officials they see near their area, just they just put it back on their face. Means like just taking the action when someone who is responsible to see after you, if you are seeing him, then only you will do that particular action. That is the scenario. The same thing is happening into our environment also. We only take action, we only take action only after when we see that there is some suffering in that particular case. If you see some suffering in that particular case, then only you will take action. Otherwise you will not take any action. A best example for this is the Ganga action plan. It's actually a big multi-purpose and multi-crore project. It took a huge huge bulk of amount to introduce this. It was introduced in 1985, and it was introduced in because the Ganga river, the holy river of Ganga, it had this very poor. It was in the very poor condition. It was very poor condition. uh, Actually, there is a form of bacteria which is found in our intestine, which is known as coliform bacteria. Coliform bacteria, it actually helps in a sort of digestion process in our intestine. But this coliform bacteria actually is a presence in water. Actually if it is present in the water content or water bodies, it means disease causing microorganisms are contaminated in higher amount. If the coliform bacteria is present in higher amount, it means you can confirm that the disease causing bacteria are present in the higher amount in that water. Here is a graph given regarding the total count of coliform bacteria in Ganga in the year 93-94. I believe that this graph has changed a lot today. This graph is of the year 93-94, and in present scenario it has changed a lot, it might have gone a higher value. You can see a green line here. It is the minimum level of coliform bacteria that must be necessary in 100 milliliter of water. 100 milliliter of water means, in the sense, if you take 2 or 3 teaspoons of water, it accumulates to form 100 milliliter of water, right? In that 100 milliliter of water, what had happened, the coliform bacteria, actually the coliform bacteria has a mpn, maximum number, maximum most probable number, mpn. If it is higher than this greener area, actually coliform bacteria, the count of coliform bacteria must be 500 per 100 milliliter, means 100 milliliter, a small amount of water, only the count must be 500. But you see, it has a tremendous amount in various areas. You can see in Rishikesh, Haridwar, then here is Garmutekshwar. These areas have higher amount of coliform bacteria, means in maximum amount. And here are some other place, Kanoj, here it is uh, Bittur, right? And then here are some other cities, Buxar, Patna. This is the Patna district, and this one is the urban area, Rajmahal. These areas have higher amount of coliform bacteria present in the water. It means even in the 1990s, the Ganga river was very much contaminated. And if you still see, the contamination is continuing without any limit. So what have the persons, or what have the higher authorities, even the citizens of the country of that particular area done? What have they done? I can assure you they might have not done anything for the conservation of this holy river, because it is one of the longest river in our country, as well as the holiest river of our country. So it's our responsibility, being a citizen of a country, it's our responsibility to conserve the heritage of our country. Rather, we are destroying our country's heritage, right? If you speak about the pollution of Ganga, we can say the geographical conditions of Ganga, as you had studied earlier, it is emerging out from the Himalayas, from the Gangotris, and it extends to Ganga Sagar in Bay of Bengal, and it has a length of 2,500 kilometer, which makes it one of the longest river in our country. And the biggest problem of this river being flowing from this 2,500 kilometer is that it passes through many big towns and cities of UP, Bihar, and West Bengal, and the people residing over the banks of these river, they just throw out the waste, throw out excreta, go and wash their clothes in there, go and wash the kettles, clean their kettles, make the kettles bath in there, they bath themselves, they put the dead bodies of the animals in that, even the dead bodies of human beings are put in it without unburnt, even the uh, chemicals which are coming from different factories are put under it, and many automobile industries are near the bank of this river. So all these issues make a perfect scenario for the pollution of Ganga, and here we are doing nothing to help clean this particular, what we say as uh, this particular holy river. Okay, so what is the main thing that you can do, or what is the basic thing that as a citizen of the country that you can do? So you don't have any sophisticated method to be implemented, right? You don't have any particular method that you can implement, you don't know any chemical method, you don't know any scientific method that you can implement, but you can do one thing. But you can do one thing. You can use the 3R principle. According to the syllabus, it is 3R, but it is actually the 4R principle. We will discuss according to the syllabus first, then we will say what is the 4R. You can implement the 3R principle to save the environment. What is the 3R principle? It includes reduce, recycle, reuse, and there is one more thing, recover. Recover means actually it is the 4R principle, but according to the syllabus, I don't know why it is given as 3R principle. It is actually the 4R principle. We will consider it as the 4R principle and we will study. First of all, reduce. Reduce means in the sense you need to reduce the amount of natural resources. The natural resources or the resources that you are using, use less. Only use the accurate amount. How much you want, you use that. Do not use so much. Like for example, you eat food only up to the limit that you want. You don't eat the food. Suppose you are, all of you are actually eating the food 3 times a day. Some might be eating 2 times a day, but you do not eat the food all the food at one time, right? The morning food, the afternoon food, the night food, breakfast, lunch, supper, or dinner. You don't eat it together, all together in a single time. You eat it one by one, right? Whenever you want, whenever you feel hungry, at that time you eat, or whenever it is the food for the time to be eaten, at that time you sit with your family and eat. Otherwise, you eat alone, however it is. But you eat only how much you want, right? Similarly, the use of natural resource must be reduced. Only that much amount of natural resources must be used that you need, right? So what are the things that you can do for reducing the natural resources? What are the things that you can do? Just think about it and reduce the amount of natural resources that you use. If you are in a room, you use the electricity, fan, AC, cooler, everything, but you are, when you are getting out of it, you do not switch off the electricity regarding all these electric components, which will cause a greater problem in the coming situation or coming generations. Actually, this chapter is mainly dealing with one thing, that at least for the sake of your future, you must do something for the sake of your future. If you are conserving now, if you are protecting now, then you can save your future at least. Protect now, save future. That must be the logo that you must always apply or imply in your daily life. If you protect now, you can save the future. Okay. Next thing is recycle. So we use these plastic components daily in our daily life, right? When a street vendor, when a moving vegetable moving cart vendor, vegetable vendor comes to our house, he gives vegetables to us in a polythene bag, right, which he has. Suppose if we are doing it daily, then on a daily basis we will have this plastic waste in our house. Then what we do, whenever if we suppose there is there are very much plastic waste in our house, and this plastic covers so much amount in our house, we just dump it in any areas. Actually, these plastic waste, we know that they are non-biodegradable substances. Non-biodegradable substances. We had studied it in the previous chapter. If you are not using this again and again, if you are not recycling such waste again and again, it will be a greater problem to you. But sometimes recycling also may suffer a lot. Sometimes people suffer a lot even for recycling. If you are going to if you are traveling through train, you might have this water bottles water bottles you might have got from the train. Sometimes if you see very keenly, the seal which is found on this cap might be very thin seal. It could be wax sealed over this. The cap might be wax sealed, which can be done easily at your home also. And who knows, it is if it is a filter water which you are getting in the railways. So in such scenarios, whenever you are at travel, either you take a quite some amount of water with you. If you can't, purchase a water bottle, but do not throw the water bottle away. Either you fill the water again and again, or you, if you want, if you can't afford that water bottle with you, you can throw the water bottle just by a simple trick. I think you know that. Do not crush the water bottle. If you crush the water bottle and throw, there is no use in that. The companies can actually refurbish it, reimburse the water bottle, and they can just sell it again. What you need to do is take this cap and put the cap inside this water bottle. Then you crush the water bottle. If you do so, the cap when gets entered into the water bottle, the company person should have to crush this water bottle, and they will recycle it very less, because recycling of such waste are very fruitful. They will recycle it again and again in any matter, in any way. But if you just crush it and throw it away, they can recycle without any filtration process or proper medical treatment, or treating that water bottle properly. Okay, so recycle it logically. The second one was recycle. Third one is reuse. Use again and again. Use again and again, just as I told you. Plastic bottles which you throw, before you throw, you just think, if you want, if you have some water bottles with you at your house, at your working areas, or anywhere. If you don't have, you use it again and again. No issues in that. No one is going to make a mockery out of you. It's the sake of the society or the sake of your future that you're doing it. So reuse again and again. And the last one was recover. I give you as a homework to find out what is this concept. What is recover? Try out and find out what is this recover concept. Okay. So we know one thing, that this sustainable development can be done only by these three process. If you need to save the environment, you need to use this 3R principle. If you are using this 3R principle properly, you can have this sustainable development done in a proper manner, right? So this is about this particular topic. If you have this, one more thing I want to say, if you have this sustainable development in a proper manner, the economy of the country and anything that is completely regarding to the economy, the sustainable development can be maintained and can be reached properly. If it is being reached properly, the economy can be developed very much, very highly in comparison to other countries, if we do it in a proper manner. Okay, there is so much to talk about this chapter, but because of the limitation of the time and the amount of data I can upload in a video, there is very less or few things that I could only discuss. Okay, I give you also a homework about some topics you need to understand. One is the 4R principle. The fourth R, understand this. What is recover? What is the concept of recover? One more thing I would like to introduce you. Find out by yourself. What is EIA and what is carbon neutrality? Okay, what is carbon neutrality? What is EIA and what is carbon neutrality? So these are the three homeworks that I am giving it to you. Find it out. Find it out very keenly. It's a very interesting thing. If you find it out very keenly, very interesting thing, then I assure you this chapter will not be boring. If you are not doing it by your own methodology, if you are not understanding by your own ways, Then, my dear students, I would assure you that this will be the very dumbest chapter that you had ever studied. No chapter in science is boring, and no topic in the science is boring. It is our approach that makes the chapter or the topic boring. So, make yourself understand what is recover, what is EIA, and what is carbon neutrality. Recover means the 4R, recover of the principle, 4R principle. Recover means we know that recovery means if someone has met with an accident, then he gets recovered slowly and gradually. It's not that it's not that recover, it's another recover. So when you find it, you find out the fourth R of 4R principle of conserving environment. There you will find this recover. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you understood the concepts. If you are not getting the homework, I will explain you anyways in the next class. Just find it out by yourself so that you can understand very thoroughly. That's all. Thank you and have a nice day.